I wanted to say sorry for the focus because I don't know what happened. My camera was not working that day. Sorry, please forgive me.
Hi everyone, this is Marianne and today I'm here to talk about wedding, and I have personally had 3 weddings. Yes, 3 weddings. I am French and I lived in Korea. My husband is Korean American. So we had we had 2 weddings in America and 1 in France. So if you want more juicy detail about that, let me know down below in the comments, and I will maybe or maybe not do a video on why did I have 3 different weddings. But today I'm here to talk about planning a wedding in France. So for me it was pretty easy because I had someone to help me. So that is the first thing to do, is find a good wedding planner, especially if you are here in America and you want to plan a wedding in France. I think it's almost impossible if you want to plan alone. So do it with a wedding planner. It's cheaper than in America. I mean, it's cheaper than LA. I don't know about other places in America, but in LA, wedding planners are so expensive, it's crazy. Mine asked me for the transportation fee, and also if I didn't have any room for him, I would have to pay for his hotel. Once you find the wedding planner and that you decide to go with him or her, you usually pay him a deposit, and he will send you some suggestion. If you don't know yet the place, he will send you multiple location and all the pros and cons. And yeah, I feel like the wedding planner in France was amazing, and I think it's very important to find the right person for you and for your wedding, because it's the only day in your life that you're gonna marry somebody, hopefully, Contact a bunch, like at least, I will say at least 5, and look at their portfolio, look at their Instagram and talk with them. A lot of wedding planners actually speak English. Maybe they don't speak English, the best English, but they do speak English. They do have some knowledge, so I don't think it's hard to find someone for you. Again, I think it was easier because I'm French, but still, my wedding planner spoke English and he was amazing. Another thing that you have to think about before planning your wedding is where do you want to do it in France? France has different regions and different landscape. So do you want something in the north, more like Normandy or Bretagne, or more like Provence with lavender fields, or do you want something just countryside with some castle, or do you want, there's so many different regions and so many landscape that you can do so many stuff. So I would say the first thing is to find the wedding planner, but then it goes with where do you want to do it. It's better to do someone that knows the region. So if you know exactly where do you want to do it, then I would suggest you to find a wedding planner in the same region, in the same area as the wedding that you're planning on. For me, I wanted something in the south of France, but not southeast. I wanted something around Toulouse, and I asked a bunch of people and I Skyped with different planners. I think I Skyped with like 6 different planners. So after that, it's pretty much the same, I think, that planning in America. So you have to think about, you know, the number of guests, that's the most important thing, and your budget. If you have a big budget, it's gonna be pretty easy. If you have less budget, then you're gonna have to cut here and there. But I would suggest you to put all your money into the location and accommodation for your guests. We decided to do it in a castle where there was rooms for the guests, and it was amazing. Something to note about France and about, you know, planning a wedding, that it is taking a long time, so don't try to plan a wedding in 6 months. That's not possible, especially in France. You have to think 1 year in advance, especially for the locations and for the, like, everything. The organization is much easier when it's 1 year, and I did that and it was amazing. It was perfect, actually. I'm very happy. France has different holidays. During the holidays, it's kind of crazy. The plane ticket and the train tickets are more expensive, and there will be a lot more people, so everything will be more expensive. So if I can find a list of national holiday in France, I will put it down below. It's good to not do it in the same day of a holiday or the same week, because a lot of people are traveling during the holidays. So if you have the choice, do not do it in the holiday season if you want to save some money. But other than that, yeah, just be careful of that, and also the strikes. And make sure that your guests also know how to come to the place, because we didn't have a lot of guests. We had less than 25 guests, and I think half of them were my family, which is okay because they're all French and it's pretty easy for them to find their way. But half of that, they were Korean and American, and yeah, it was not easy to take the train and all that stuff. So if you can make them meet in Paris and then go together, that's also very, I think it's a good tip, so that everyone knows. Also in France, the wedding is usually 2 days. Mine was like 3-4 days because we rented the, like this, it's 4 days rental, so you rent the whole place. It's easier for you to come before, and then, you know, you see your wedding planner, you meet with people, and it's much more relaxed. And Saturday is usually the day of the wedding. If you're marrying with a French person, you can go to the city hall to, you know, file marriage. Or if you don't, you can go to a church. You have to be registered as, for example, if you go to a Catholic church, you have to be registered as Catholic, and you have to pay a very small amount. Again, it depends of the city, but the city and the church that you go to. But yeah, usually it's a small amount. Or you can just do a ceremony in the location, in the venue of the wedding. So usually French people go first to the city hall, then to the church, then to the venue of the wedding, and they have the dinner and stuff like that. We did different because I'm not religious, and my husband is not French, so we didn't go to the city hall. So we basically had our wedding in the same venue, in the same location, and we did it Saturday, and Saturday night we had dinner, and everything was so perfect. But what I feel after having 3 different weddings is that America, I mean LA, is very expensive, and you could have way better wedding in France with the same with the same budget, but it will be so much better and, you know, so much romantic and so much fun. I will put the average cost of wedding in America, and I feel like it's crazy. I personally didn't want to pay that much. I was thinking less than 10,000. We ended up doing I will say in between $10,000 and $20,000 wedding, which is pretty expensive in France. But yeah, it was less expensive than in America. And if you guys are curious, I can make a video about my American wedding, and I will tell you more about how did I plan on my own. I planned my wedding in America in 3 months, which is pretty crazy, but yeah, I did it and it was amazing too. I think the experience that I had with my French wedding planner helped me a lot planning my second wedding in America. So yeah, and also I knew where to cut costs and where to save. Yeah, basically wedding in France is much cheaper, and you can have an amazing time with your family. So I think it's a very good thing to do. Again, you have to find the right wedding planner. I think it's the most important thing if you want to do a wedding in France, and especially if you don't speak French, you have to find the perfect wedding planner. So take your time, at least 1 year, and talk with wedding planners. And I wish that you are happy and that you married someone that you love in France, because France is it's my home country, so I love France and I think it's very romantic. So yeah, if you guys have any question or any suggestions, let me know down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!